Welcome to beautiful Kananaskis country. My name's David. Today I'll be doing a review of this, the Ultimate Direction 40 backpack or fast packing bag. I've been taking this on a lot of adventures and I can now do a comprehensive review of this thing. Now, first off, I think this is a backpack that can replace most people's backpacks, whether that's day hiking or backpacking. Now, this is only good for about 2 nights backpacking. So if you're going on longer treks, you're gonna need a much bigger bag. This is 40 liters. So as long as you have all ultralight gear that's lightweight and small, it'll fit in here. In my case, I was able to pack in a bunch of camera gear too, drone, the big camera you got recording on now, as well as other pocket cameras. Let's first do an overview of this bag and then I'll show you a few of the modifications I have and what its strengths and weaknesses are. So first off, I'll say this thing is pretty much all strengths. It has a few weaknesses though. I really love, starting with the back here, it's got the big bungee pouch on the back. Now a lot of bags have this, but this one has all these different tie down spots all the way up. And what I've done is I've added some small carabiners. You can see here, these red ones here, and I also have a blue one. And this allows me to, for example, you can see in mine, I always carry my Katadyn B-Free 3-liter bag, and I just attach it with a carabiner because I'm a little nutty like that. I need to know this is attached just in case I'm scrambling and this pops out of my bag, I'm not gonna lose it. So there's just a lot of different functionality like that. I often am finding now I attach my drone in its full bag and all the batteries and all that stuff to the back here, and I just use one of these tie down spots. While we're on the back of the bag here, it has a zipper pouch right here, which I absolutely love. So you always need this one quick pouch. You don't want to be digging through your bag, looking for your inReach or looking for, your first aid, like I got it right here. So I absolutely love that about this. It's yellow too on the inside, which makes it really easy to find stuff. When companies make these black, it makes it harder to see stuff in there. So next up, we'll go to the sides here. So basically how this system works is it has just 2 side pouches, and I find they work fantastic for holding water bottles, tripods, anything like that, because it's got the zigzag of this strap, which this strap attaches to the top. So what ends up happening is when you put stuff in there and you attach it to the top and you crank it down, it tightens everything on the side. So whether that's your water or trekking poles or tripod in my case, it just snugs it right in there. It's fantastic, and you can really crank this down to make the bag smaller for fast packing, like running. So if you're someone who likes to run, this bag is perfect for that. Out in the backcountry, these things keep biting me. I don't know what's biting me down here, but it doesn't feel good. Anyways, so same thing on this side. Big stretchy, and this is a stretchy material too. And I will note too, if you look at how it's sewn, they put this like lip on there and they sew it. And this often like hooks and catches things so they don't come out. They do that on a lot of them. They do it here too. I really like that. And this one too, I don't know if I really mentioned, but it's very stretchy. So you can really pack this full of stuff in there. Now let's move to the front here. This is my favorite part of it. The reason why I got it. And by the way, I'm not affiliated with this company. So this has got a running style vest on it. So what that means is it's got 2 sternum straps. One that goes across there and then another one that goes across lower. That allows you to get the straps above and below your pecs so your bag doesn't bounce when you run. So you can move really quick, and it feels good when you're hiking too if you're not a runner. Now for the pouches, there's tons of them. Let me just show you here as I wear it. So there's one on the top here with this pull zip, and I typically stick pocket cameras in there, but you can put whatever in there, and it allows you to cinch it down and kind of feel comfortable, nothing's getting out. If it's something of value, you can put your phone in there. I do that too. It's got 2 here, and these are which just allows you to stick like Cliff Bar or whatever snacks and stuff. And these ones are open ones, but it has this thing sewn in, so when you put something in there, it still wants to catch it, it's just so smart. Below it here, there's another one. This one's bigger. This is also open. On the side here, down here, there's a zipper, and that takes up this entire section here. So if you have a small phone, it would fit in there. A big phone doesn't fit in there. I wish, it's one of the drawbacks of this bag. The only thing, kind of one of the few things I have to say about it, I wish the phone would fit down here. I've got my music and a little macro lens and stuff, but basically it's flatter things you want to fit in there, but it's zipper shut, so you're not going to lose it. Now I should say I've made some modifications here, but basically it comes with this stretchy buckle which snaps down right here like that, so you can potentially lash things in here and things you want to get access to easily like that. Now what I've done is gone and sewn a Peak Design buckle attached to this thing so I can carry my camera from that. But so this typically this buckle and this carabiner aren't here. And then above it here, there's a little bungee thing. This is for like a water hose coming in from the back. And on this side, it's the exact same thing. Minus this thing. This is obviously an attachment for putting my camera on, but same thing. It's got the same bungee cables. It's got the same zipper thing here. They're all identical on both sides. Now for the waist, now some of you might not like this. It doesn't have a waist belt. I like waist belts. I kind of wish there was a waist belt, but I've added my own. So it's just simply a strap here, which I have my bear spray attached to and my knife, but this just simply clips on there like that. There are loops on here too. I'm not exactly sure why this is here. Is this maybe you can attach, like if you're wrapping around a foam pad on the bottom or something, and you want it on the bottom of your bag, something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but it gives you more options. One thing something to note here is I added this red bag. This is from my old backpacking bag. I really like this bag, and it just easily kind of, you know, attached on there. So that's where I keep my bear spray. Now, if we look inside the bag, it's just one big hollow tube, except it has one pouch on the side here, which is kind of sewn onto the side part, which I think is putting your tent or your trekking pole, so it gives a little bit of rigidity to the bag. And then on the back here, it has the bungee kind of pocket to put your water bladder. You'll see here there's a water bladder clip, so that's attached to your water bag so it doesn't fall down. And then there is a hole here on the top right there where your water hose goes through, and then you can put it through on either side because there's these bungees on both sides. One thing I did say is they're both exactly the same for the straps, and that's not true. This side has a whistle, I forgot about that, with a tiny little pocket for the whistle. It's a high-pitched whistle. I'm not a fan of those because they don't usually scare away bears, but it does have a little whistle on it. Aside from that, it's just one big pocket. It's a roll top. Now, I know some of you are probably wondering, is there Velcro? Like, how does it work? So there is Velcro, but it's not across the entire thing. It's only a few spots right in the middle there, right there. And it's only that big. And the same thing, tiny little strips. They're about 1.5 inches on each side there and right there. So it's a roll top. You can roll it down, you clip it down, and then whatever extra you have, you can just crank that down and it tightens up the bag like that. Same thing on this side, except this side's a little bit different. You'll see in a second here. So if we attach this, crank it down, and you can also attach both the tops together to create a loop that way. If you need more space or you prefer just to operate like that, you can do that because the buckles are the opposite. And now something to note, if you want easy access without opening your bag, so in the case of my recent backpacking trip to Carnarvon Lake, I had this thing pretty darn full, and there's access on the side here, only this one side. So you look here, this is normal. This side has a zipper, and that zipper goes all the way down to about halfway between here and here. So, I mean, that gives you pretty darn generous opening to get into your bag from the side. So I love this feature. It allows me to get in really quick, and I just make sure I pack whatever is at the bottom is something I don't need on trail. So like my sleeping bag or whatever, sleeping pad, that always goes to the bottom, and heavier stuff can go down there, or like the second day of food I would put down there. And yeah, just a fantastic design. Somebody was really thinking here. A note too, like there's some marks and stuff on here. I've been banging this up in the woods pretty good, and it just, you know what I'm really impressed with is the bottom. Like I'm scrambling down some rock on my butt. Like I'm afraid of heights, and I'm butt scooching. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm butt scooching down these steep rock class 4 stuff, and this bag is taking a beating. It's full of stuff and it's scraping, and it's like there's not even a mark on there. There's a bit of dirt, but like look at that. And while I'm at it too, you can see here it's got ice axe loops. It's also got lashing points on the bottom. So I mentioned lashing points on the sides here. It's got lashing points on the bottom, and it's got lashing points on this sides of the bottom here. So you can easily strap one of those close-cell foam mats on the bottom if that's your kind of style, or if you have a big tent or big sleeping bag or whatever. Or in a case of, say, someone gets injured, you can strap someone else's backpack to the bottom of your bag here. So you carry it to get some weight off their back or something like that. There's just tons of options with this thing. Now the carry handle too, I really like it. It's just like double stitched together. It's really strong, it's comfortable, it holds well. Like, I don't know, it's not a feature I really think about in a backpack, but it's just really nice, especially when I go into like outhouses, or if I'm in going past some sort of lodge like at Lake Louise or something like that and I'm going into a bathroom, this hooks on really easily to the hooks in the bathrooms. Now let's talk comfort. This thing has a foam pad on the back, which is very comfortable. This is a frameless pack, there's no frame. And before some of you are like, let me tell you, this is such a comfortable pack. Like they've designed it, it just curls right on your body perfectly. Once you get it kind of all lined up, you get the sternum straps in the right spot, which are adjustable, by the way. You can just slide them up and down, just like that. And then you can, usually I crank the top one more, and then that pulls this in and gets it right on your shoulders. And then what you do is adjust the bottom strap here, and you get that right on your hips. And then you just kind of have to play a little bit with the straps on the sides, so it's not too high. So like, for example, right here, you pull this, and that loosens it, and then you can get it, change the height up and down. Pull this, and get this to adjust. I mean, once you get it adjusted, it fits. There we go. So now it's the full length of my torso. I change this a little bit with backpacking. So if I got heavy load in there, then I crank these down and get it really cinched up on my back. But you can see, it's like, it curves with your back. It feels so good. You feel some of the weight goes up on your hips here. You just tighten this down on your hips. And then the rest, you just want this nice and tight on your pecs. And it doesn't, I don't know, I'm not feeling any really difference. I'm not feeling like I have a sore back because I'm using this versus one with a frame. Now the difference is I've switched to ultralight gear, so I no longer am doing the 40-pound packs. I bring this one up to 20-25 pounds max. That's with my camera gear too. So if you're not carrying camera gear, you can easily get this down to like 15 or 20 full backpacking. So, and it's just such a nice, comfortable bag. The way this is kind of shaped is I find that the hip goes a little bit lower in the front. It sits on the hip and then it pulls up at a diagonal here, and that tends to pull things together. So that's what makes it wrap on your back. It like forms on it. Because when I bend over like this, I feel it conforming with me. There's not this big gap. Now the gap is nice for airflow, but I don't find I sweat any different with this versus like my Osprey bag. Those Osprey bags are known for the airflow. If we look at the bag, basically got a big channel in the middle that's hollowed out for airflow, and then it also has channels on the sides and then perforated holes with this mesh on top. So while this is not going to be as much airflow as say like an Osprey, what's that thing called, Levity, the really lightweight one, it does have pretty good airflow. It's significantly lighter. This weighs 1.65 pounds, something like that. So it's super ultralight, and it's a 40-liter bag, Ultimate Direction 40. This also comes in a 30 and a 20, depending on what kind of adventures you're getting up to. But I absolutely love this bag. It's my favorite bag backpacking, hiking, period. Absolute best. I only take this bag now. All the videos you see me film in all these amazing places will be with this bag this year, unless it's something like 5-day trip, which I don't have any planned right now. So most likely you'll only see me using this bag from now on. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review of the Ultimate Direction 40. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.